What's up guys, it's Nogo and we're finally doing the build showcase on the Soulkeeper build. So the concept of this build, so we just saw from my previous build was a medium build, and look, I mean they released SOULTHORN. I'm like, okay, they released a medium, they released an intelligence medium legendary weapon. How could I not go on, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I just gotta go on it. So that's when I hopped on SOULTHORN, and yeah. And then also Chain Warden kind of released I think like the week after, I want to say, or maybe like 2 weeks after. I'm like, okay, let me try Chain Warden, and I kind of like the mix of them both. You know, I had both of the melon combo, you know what I'm saying? So it worked out pretty well. And yeah, I like the build a lot. But the build is also glass cannon, but you don't have to be glass cannon. I purposely choose to be a glass cannon because the reason why I won so much on my LFT build compared to now is because, you know, back then, like, I played pretty passively, okay? Like, passive in the sense that I only really played after parries, and I really only parry straight, and I didn't really try to go for much combos literally at all. And from playing that passive, every fight seemed to go to set a net, and I was really boring to watch. It was really boring to play as well. I just want to have fun. Okay, I play the game for fun, so I'm like, okay, you know, let me hop on a super glass cannon or 50 HP slot, issuing on no vitality, and fights a lot more fun. Okay, fights are going like 2 to 3 minutes and they're over for the most part. And yeah, it's just no more sim dev. Like, it's more fun to play like that. So that's why I play with the low HP that I play as, and you also get some pretty crazy clay saw at the start. But yeah, that is a concept. Again, you can be really tanky with this exact same build. I just choose not to. Okay, it's my choice. It is my choice. Now for the weapon, as you saw, I'm honestly using SOULTHORN, and I think SOULTHORN is really good. Yes, it still lost 30% pen, but as long as the criticals are unchanged, the swing speed is unchanged, and the chip is unchanged, the weapon concept as a whole does not change, because the utility is still the exact same, right? It could take 100 damage off. I do not care. I will still use a weapon until I make it. Maybe I'm making my new build. I don't know. But for now, I'm really liking this build, and I really like the weapon too. Both criticals are very good. I'm going to show you how to use them at the end. But yeah, I mean, the weapon is it's a really good weapon. It is a really good weapon. It's really good. Overall, it is a good weapon. For the oath, as you can obviously see, I am Chain Warden, and Chain Warden is also really good. Every move on Chain Warden is super good. The feints are really nice too if you do want to Mantra feint. I really do not feint at all, but they have like good feint. I can't lie, they have good feints. So yeah, all the moves, all of them are just really good, and they all have a bit of some cheese. So I'm not gonna lie, all of them have some cheese to them. Every single move of them. So I can show that again at the end of the video when I show how to exactly use the build. Because this build, like everything on this build, is kind of it's cookie cutter. Like you can literally do what I do in all these clips very easily. To have very simple inputs. And I'm going to teach you how to do it at the end of the video. And their counters are not, they're kind of uncounterable because the RPGs got really good reaction time to really counter them. Most people, even in top 50 and fighting top 10s, they get hit by this all the time. So I'm going to show that at the end of the video. But all the oath mantras, really good. Chain Warden, I think, is one of the better oaths right now for the move. Jet Kick, still pretty busted, but you know, it works. Here are the build stats right here. I went Vesperian because, well, it's Vesperian. Murmur, I went Ardor. Bell doesn't really matter. Origin doesn't really matter. And yeah, here are the build stats right here. So again, like I said, I went 0 vitality. You don't have to, okay? You can go 6 vitality. I went 6 proficiency because I like quick fights. I went 6 erudition because I'm not gonna lie. My sub be taking Easter, okay? My sub kind of be taking Easter. I can't lie. So, you know, erudition is pretty nice. Again, that's because I modded like crazy. But yeah, boons don't, I mean, I'd say steadfast survivalist are the best. Yeah, you never know in the future, they might release like I don't know, like an acid water rain spire bell, okay? And you're gonna wish you had survivalist, so I know I got survivalist. If they do add that, I'm be ready, okay? I'm be ready. Simple, because why are you not go simple? And yeah, so 40 strengths right here is really good because it just gets you showstopper, and it's just a pretty good benchmark. 42 I did not go reinforce. If you want to be really tanky, you can go reinforce, and just green reinforce each other, so you both end up at 4.5 bars. That's not enough. So fun. Oh my, like I'm not trying to do that. Okay, I'm not. So you know, I just went to the finish, and I went for turtle shell as well with the 50 fortitude. Excess going and all that. Agility, if you can go ghost, I would go ghost. If you copy my build, you can't. But if you want to like kind of like mix up the build, if you don't want to go charisma, I highly recommend air counter and going ghost. Air counter is very good synergy with SOULTHORN. I don't know why, it just kind of randomly works when you land that first crit. But yeah, it's really good. It is really good. But I cannot, so I went observation to safety dance with the shrine. And then the intelligence, of course, I gotta go prediction, so we went really high on this, and I had to get the 12 steps ahead. Willpower went heretic, piercing will, and in charisma I went, and I did want to try sing. I think sing is really underrated and really good. It's just better glare. It's like pre-nerf glare. It literally is just pre-nerf glare. Just you need to be sing first. It's not as good as pre-nerf glare, but it's still pretty good. Okay, it's still pretty good. Just free stun move that could kind of help you sometimes. So Sometimes you get benefits, sometimes you don't, but I think it's underrated. It's also really good for getting because the range is crazy too. It's like global bit. Yeah, so golden tongue. I did not go dazing though. Did not go dazing because you do want to get the flourish kick for chain warden, which we'll talk about in a bit at the end of the video on how to move stack it and make it very overpowered. Yeah, medium is just like this, and that's basically it for the build stats. Now for the build order, this is very important, okay? Because normally what happens is when you do shrine, so when you do shrine, it looks like this. So for the build order itself though, it does not matter. Like it literally does not matter. Just go whatever order you want. But when you shrine of order, your stats will look, okay, it really will look like this, okay? So what you need to do is you need to go to the shrine of mastery where you can take 3 points out of a stat and move it somewhere else. And that's what you're gonna do right here. So because we don't get anything above 25 agility, I want to say, you can move this down 3, which is the max you're allowed to do, to 28. And then you can move your whatever else you want to put the 3 into, which is probably going to be medium, to 80, giving you enough to use SOULTHORN, which requires an 80 requirement. It's very important. Do not forget this step, or else you're not going to be able to make the build. So the build is pretty specific in that way, but everything else pretty basic, you know, just kind of go whatever. Now for the gear that I wear, so I do run a bit of a different enchant in my last build showcase video, but again, okay, if you do have the Duke Amulet, please run the Duke Amulet. I was waiting to rank the video when I got the Duke Amulet, but I never got that. It is so crazy rare, but if you do have the Duke Amulet, I highly recommend using it. It's very good. I think it is very good. I use it on like some other account and it's pretty good, so I recommend using it if you do get it. Again, it is really rare, but if you get it, definitely wear that and max that out. But yeah, if you don't have that, you know, just kind of use Confessor's Charm. What I have on the War Master is just cosmetic. I'll talk about that in a bit, but yeah, Confessor's Charm is all around basic stuff. And then also what I do want to say is for all my gear, I max out on posture first, HP second, and then the resistance, the physical resistance, and then elemental resistance, and then sanity. No, then Ether, and then sanity, right? The reason why I like posture a lot is because I do not like guard breaks, okay? They always hit me through my dodge, and well, instant guard breaks don't really care about your posture. You know, they just got some basic like restrain or strong left, and it's really nice having that extra posture to save me, especially when I can reflect it back with exhausted strike. So I just like having that posture. I think more posture is going to help you more in a fight than more HP. If you're fighting like some like crazy posture oriented build, you know, if I like a heavy build that's forcing your block a lot, I do like having my posture. Okay, I like good posture. So Confessor's Charm, Conga's Clutch Ring is just, I don't know why you would not have this. It's just quality. It literally is quality of life. It is just such a nice quality of life to have Congas, to be honest. So yeah, I like having Congas on. And then the Akira and the Rosen Ring, these are just nice to have because I don't know what other ring I'd run, so it's just free extra damage for my SOULTHORN to do quite a lot of damage. And of course the Ishin Ring, and you do not have to wear the Ishin Ring. I wear it for quick fights. You don't have to wear this. It is literally a net negative to be wearing an Ishin's ring, so you're gonna be net negative if you wear the Ishin Ring, okay? But I just do it because I like quick fights, mix for funny videos and all that. So yeah, I like wearing an Ishin's ring. But if you're not wear this, I'd maybe replace these two with like Windmill Lady. I honestly don't even know what I'd put. I don't even know what I'd put here, to be honest, but you probably think of something. But for me, I just kind of run the Ishin's ring. So yeah, that's basically it. Now for the boots, I do run Imperial boots because I do have Condition Runner on this slot, because this slot can be used for Overworld. I don't gank on it because I'm not Dread Striker, but you know, it can be used for Overworld. So I'm gonna touch them when I go to talents. But yeah, I do use Imperial boots. These are maxed out. Glider helmet maxed out. You can use I think it's Con helmet for similar stuff, but I'm like, hey, you know, I want to have the free talent, might as well. So yeah, you need to get the free talent from that right there. And also for the +2 posture, and then also use a God Royal Blood for the mask, which is the best mask in the game because it's the only mask that actually gives armor resistance, so you should be using it if you're not like blindfold for blindfold. God Royal Moonlit Earrings. And then I also use Authority Commander, so I do use Authority Commander. Prophet's Cloak, I'm not really mantra oriented, even though at the clip of the start kind of was a lot of mantra damage. I'm not mantra oriented, I'm just not. So yeah, and just kind of all around, just basic one. You could go, I did try Windrunner robes, but I just, I don't know. I didn't find myself gaining much from that speed boost, so I was like, no, I'm just not gonna use that. I'm just going for the basic. Authority Commander until they release an actual nice one. That's not just Authority Commander. Eventually, who knows, but. Then Delver Duster is very important because it gives you 2 really nice talents, Kick Off and Brace Collapse. So and it leaves 2 less talents that I need to pick up. I can just get in my armor, which is really nice. So yeah, Brace Collapse, really good. I hate guard breaks, I hate them, so this is nice. And then the talent Kick Off is just good. I mean, I just jump higher, so it's like why not just get this for free? And yeah, I like Delver Duster a lot because of that. And yeah, and then I use a Kite Shield for the drip. Any shield is good. Just need it for Turtle Shell, and then of course the SOULTHORN, which is 3-star damage. Now for the armor enchant, I like to use a balance. Really good light weapon that can just save you. I like to use whereas it's viscosity as well. You should always be using viscosity. It's literally a second win. It is a second life. I won a lot of fights from being 0% with viscosity, getting one bloodless off, one spit off, and from that I'm able to win the match only because of viscosity. So viscosity you must have. And I do not run multiplicity. I actually run allure, and the reason why I run allure is so sing will be active more, I guess that makes sense. So like right after they hit me, I'm able to just use sing kind of like right away, and allure is just really nice. I mean, it's just doing more for you than multiplicity, because whenever you get hit, let's say you didn't hit them on waterfall, when you get hit you immediately gain 10% damage resistance immediately, because that's how charm works. So I don't see why you would just run this, right? Multiplicity theoretically can be better. It can maybe save you more HP, but I'd rather not rely on chance. I'd rather just rely on something I know is going to work for me, which in this case is allure. I really like allure, and I like the hearts too. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, basically it for the armor section. Now for the talents, Okay, so I mean, this is all right here, and if you want to look, it'll be in the link below, but these are all my talents. Obviously I can't really go for all of them, but some key talents I will talk about right now though, just looking at this, is 85. Okay, so why do I go 85? Well, I'm going to go 85 for neural overload, which, I mean, one, I'm already going 80 for, where is it, omniscient. I'm already going 80 for the prediction card, 12 steps ahead, which is very good. I mean, how can you not have this? You're going prediction, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you might as well just pick it up. You know, it's quite a lot. I can't lie. 3 talents for 80. Hold on, let me just say this real quick. Okay? 80 stat points and 3 talents for a single mantra. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot. Okay, that is a lot. Hey, if any of trying to, you know, watch it, hey, maybe lower that to 2 talents real quick. You know, that'd be great. Okay, that would be great, but that's not the case. So if you're gonna go 80, I'm like, might as well just get this. And what this gets me is it lets me max out mantra even more. So I have an even larger master flourish, I have an even longer revenge, and I have a very, very massively long range thing. It does take a lot of Easter. I definitely probably gonna demod this because it takes quite a lot. So, but yeah, if you're in a gang, it just reaches so far. Something else I'm not about to build, and this is just for, I mean, like, there's not really much to talk about the talents, right? Like, I mean, I really like all the dead gods, which is why I want this, because I like all the dead gods. Okay, I like having it. It's pretty nice. So yeah, this gets me 8 max at all the dead gods. What else? Chaotic charm, just really nice. I don't go dazing because of the flourish kick. You wanna be able to pull them back, and you can't do that if you're like dazed, like literally right in front of you, so it's not gonna work. And what else? Heretic, yes, Heretic and Piercing Will, you know, the classics. I think that's really it. I mean, if you want to remake the build, it kind of changed up a bit. I recommend going air counter. It has a good synergy with the critical, but yeah, it's really it for the talents themselves. Scroll through them real quick if you do want to see them. There you go. And yeah. And if you want to know why I have so many talents that are like more than you might have, because I also have all the quest talents too. Like I just did it for why not. I got Tree Felling Blow. Hey, that 4K load, it might come in handy. Okay, hey, those fishing talents, you never know, you might need that K load one day. So I recommend, you know, going all the quest talents, because why not? Okay, if you're gonna main the build, you know what I'm saying? So get all the quest talents. I have the ship ones somewhere. I don't know where they are. There's somewhere. You got the prospector ones. Well, oh yeah, also I do go pocket bombs, and the reason why I don't use bombs in my streams when I play Chime is because I'm too lazy. Okay, if you're playing a build and you really want to win like that, make those bombs. Okay, buy the bombs and make them. It's just a net positive to have bombs with you. It can just save you, but I'm too lazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to do all that. I just kind of play for fun these days. So yeah, but normally I would, if I was like try hard, I would go pocket bombs. And of course the plus 4K load. Very good. And yeah, that's about it for the talents, but yeah, that's basically it. Now for the mantras. So I have quite a lot of mantras, and I keep my weapon here because normally I'm not really taking out my weapon like ever. So yeah, you're gonna want to have a loadout like this. Your entire toolbar is filled with mantras, and yeah, let's just go ahead and go in order. So prediction, absolutely no gems, no sparks, I should say. No modifier, just a simple blue gem because the other gems do not work. Restraint is also going to be a blue gem because I'm never actually landing restraint. I literally never land restraint ever. I only land on their block, which is fine, but the move hitting them usually never happens, right? So if it is never gonna happen, I'm not gonna actually proc a gem. I might as well just put a blue gem on it, which is exactly what I do, and have a blue gem on that. Exhaust strike is going to be a blessed gem, so you can do the back shot exhaust strike tech. I'll teach you later in the video. We're just kind of just moving like that, and yeah, just a free hit. And I want to be able to spam that because it is really broken. Rupture is going to be insignia gem because when I hit the insignia gem on them, when I do the come, I'll show you in a bit, where it's like boom, boom, boom. If I land a rupture, that insignia gem, I'm gonna make any move I use next super fast. So I want to use like impel, I want to use like an instant master flourish, I want to use like an instant curl spear just to stun them more. If I want to just zoom across them, like all these moves are basically guaranteed to hit because of that insignia gem. So Really nice to just have that. Master Flourish is going to be, of course, the Bloodlust. It heals quite a lot, and I'm going to also have maxed out modifiers on that with maxed out Glassstone for the absolute most range possible on it. I mean, the range is pretty absurd. It's a very, very huge range, so yeah, might as well just have that maxed out. And then for Beast Bro, I'm going to have a blue gem on that, because normally I don't try to hit people with this. I try to just go under the ground to give myself some iframes to use Heretic Sutra, or I just want to get out. I just want to get out of the area, and it's just really nice to have. And yeah, normally not really ever land it. I honestly might put an insignia on this, because sometimes I do land it. Sometimes I do. So we don't just land at Revenge for free right after. I might put an insignia on that, but for now I just run a blue gem. On the Revenge, I run maxed out charge to have the most range possible, and I also want to have an insignia on that, so when I do land it, I can immediately follow up with an Impel, or I can with a Coral Spirit, or if I'm right next to him, I can use a Sing into an M1, or if I'm right next to him, Master Flourish. Like, again, like, insignia is really good. It's guaranteed your next move. Of course, it has cooldown, so you can't really chain it, but it's just really good to have. So normally, if I have no mods in this, I might run one gem, but because I max mod, I'm going to run an insignia gem. But it does take quite a lot of Easter, I will not lie. But I mean, we have so much intelligence, you know what I'm saying? We're pretty good on Easter, okay? Usually I don't run out of Easter. If I do, well, I'm just one for bidding a Easter back. Coral Spirit is a very good mantra. Very, very good. I don't still like just bugs out and just lands for free. I don't really know why, but you guys saw me in the previous video. I used to have Easter Barrage. I did try Easter Barrage. It is so bad. It's bad. Okay, it's bad. I tried to make it look in Gank. It's pretty good. It's like kind of like a different type of Windblade. You know what I'm saying? When you hit that Windblade, cross map, boom, into Wayward. It's pretty clean. But in a one situation, it doesn't hit you anymore, which is great. But it doesn't work. It just makes it hard to see the opponent when they parry all of it, because just massive glowing balls of destruction like just explode in your face. And even when you do land it, it's nice. Okay, when I just say it's nice, but most of the time it kind of just punishes me, and it's not as consistent as I want it to be. Okay, most of my mantras I have, because they're consistent, I can land them pretty consistently, and well, that's just not really the case for Easter Barrage. It looks cool, but it's just not. It needs a spark. It needs something. Okay, it needs something to be tracking. I don't know, but it's right now it's just not really for me. But Coral Spirit is way more consistent. I like it way more. And yeah, I like it in Coral Spirit. So yeah, of course I have an insignia on that. No other modifier, because when you land that, you can immediately follow up with an Impel or literally anything. Honestly, literally anything when you land that Coral Spirit. And it's pretty cheap too. Now, Sing. Okay, Sing, it takes a lot of Easter, because I have maxed out Stone Lake, because I want to be able to cross match people if I want to like combat tag them for whatever reason. But in like a chime environment, you could maybe put like 2 and you're fine. Like, you really do not need that much. You really don't. But I just kind of have it for whatever reason. But yeah, it's really nice for the instant. It literally just instant stun. So if you kind of know they're gonna be like mid move, you kind of use it and then catch them in their M1 and immediately go for the M1 on them, which is just, I mean, good, right? That's just a good move. I don't know. The way you kind of learn to use Sing is you gotta just use it more. I'll talk about that at the end of the video, like how to use the mantra, but that's a mantra. It's Sing. I just like having this mantra. Again, if you don't like Sing, I highly recommend swapping this out for Taunt, which is just a net positive mantra. You just benefit from using Taunt, but I want to try something a bit different, so I went for Sing. I like being different. Okay, you can tell I use prediction. Okay, I like being different. Okay, like my bad, but yeah. For the last one is Impel. Really good move. It is kind of cheesy, I'm not gonna lie. You just straight in their face and you kind of win. But also on Sing I have a blue gem as well. But yeah, on Impel I have an insignia gem, because you gotta land a insignia gem for literally for free. If you're laying a parachute and they're right here and you immediately use Impel, there's like an 80% chance you're gonna land at least a single tick of insignia, which you can then immediately follow up with literally anything you want. Master Flourish for instant, whatever you want. But yeah, that's it for the mantras. All around, really good mantras. The one mantra you can swap out for what you want would be Coral Spirit, and that's the one that, or maybe Coral Spirit on Sing, you kind of swap this for what you want, but everything else is pretty staple for the build, because they're just really good. And why would why'd you swap it out? The most important part, the drip. All right, so what do I got on? I'm gonna put y'all on. Okay, so here are the hero IDs on screen here. So the last one is the wheel, which is dyed white, and then the other one are just the combined hairs and it's dyed black. Why I got the e-boy look now? Not gonna lie, I got tired of the Johnsy hair. Okay, if you know, you know, but I cannot wear the Johnsy hair no more. I cannot. I'll probably go back to the hair, but I feel like it's drippy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just got a ring to it. But anyway, yeah, that's it for the hairs. And now for the weird looking swirls, because I have a blood forged crown on and it is dyed white, which looks kind of weird. So I mixed the swirls white. Pretty cool. Yeah, we're gonna take that off, but that's how I got the swirls. And now for the armor or the outfit, I got Prophet's Cloak on, fully transmog, no down. I got the War Master medallion on. This is dyed black. I have the Black Pathfinder Leon on, dyed white. I got a white looking belt. Chain Warden is, when I say white, by the way, I mean like full white, like full white. I got the Chain Warden dyed white, and then I think that's really it. I got the cut shield too, because it's black and white. That's it for the drip. Pretty basic drip, I won't lie. Maybe, okay, I might have to go to the, you know what I'm saying, I might have to go to the dev coat, you know, but no, for now, we're just gonna say that the colors to really just match the SOULTHORN, because it just matches really well. It just matches, it's all matching. How could you hate on this, you know? For the bell, for no other purpose other than flexing and saying I have it. Camry is just so cool. I'm sorry, Camry is just so cool. But yeah, I do have Camry. I do with the downside really bad. Go Insanity if you would want to recreate this. I gotta go real for that eventually, and then just bring a bunch of sanity pops with me because yeah, this is really bad. I can't lie. It's not very ideal. But yeah, I do have Camry because it's Camry. Hello. So let's start off with the criticals on the weapon. So you need to land in one similar to Nemesis to access the criticals. And if you're on the first critical, which is the one before 3-in-1s, you gain access to the one where you jump in the air and then you hit down on them. So the way I land this most consistently is once you have access to the critical, if you're in a parry trade, once you land the parry, you want to immediately go for an M1 and feint it as fast as you can, and then go for a critical. You got to spam R key or spam whatever critical key it is, go for the critical. And then what usually happens is it'll go for a block it. And even if they block, you can still hit them. So you can see they basically blocked right there. You want to immediately go for an uppercut. And then an uppercut is going through the head on them. And then you can go ahead and hit them again. And you can kind of just keep holding down your M1 key, because while they're still in the air, you'll be on that flourish kick. And you could catch them, hit them down, you're going to proc the flourish right there. And then from there, if you're lucky, you can get the next hit. Sometimes you don't. And that's it. You're going to play it in quick so you can see what happens. So remember, I have the parry trade, I get the parry, so it's my turn. Immediately M1 feint, spam critical on my keyboard, and then I spam uppercut to try and catch them behind their block like this. And then I go ahead and spam M1 to hopefully get the flourish kick. An example of the exact same thing, so I immediately M1 feint to the critical. And then go for the arrow instead of the uppercut. Both can sometimes work. This one I got pretty lucky. Normally this doesn't really guard break, but you can go for a Restrain Movestack here, but they did end up parrying this. Now for the second critical, what you want to do is after you land 3-in-1, the best way to land this is to use it immediately after a parry. So you don't want to feint. If you feint, you end up getting your parry back and it's not going to do anything. And good players won't well, you see right here, right? So what happens is I get the parry off right here, and I immediately use a critical, no feint, I just spam R, use a critical, and then he thinks it's M1, so he goes for the parry. He parries nothing, obviously, because that's just a TP, and then he gets it on his block because he can't parry, or he can't do anything, he just has to block it, and he gets posture broken, and I can follow up with an impel or any move I want. So good players won't react to this. They'll just look at that and it won't do anything, and they're gonna immediately parry the first hit. So if you're fighting someone who played like this, you're gonna have to be a bit creative in how you land the second critical. But for the most part, against most players, you can just immediately after you get that parry, just spam R on your keyboard. They're gonna go for miss parry, literally nothing, and then you just gonna flash them. If you get that guard break, you can follow up with easy. Usually I do impel, but sometimes you can do like a back hit master flourish, or you can do something like a cross spear, or sing it to another M1, or a back hit reduction like. But in this case, I'd go for impel. And then from that insignia I got from the impel, I could do something else after I get this parry right here. So yeah, second crit is you use it immediately after a parry. Now for restraint, what you usually want to do for restraint, how I land it most often is I'll go for, after I get the parry, I'll go for, it's very quick, so it's hard to see, but you can see it bottom left or a basic feint. So I'll go for an M1 and I'm going to immediately click restraint. So the second I click M1, I'm clicking restraint, so it auto feints my M1 to then hit restraint, and what it usually does, it hits their block. See, you see the white outline, that means I feinted, it's gonna immediately hit their block, and it goes to try and M1 them again, and if I can land that M1, I'll go for a rupture, which really lands, and then from here, just have an insignia. Sometimes I get to someone, sometimes I don't. You're adding into ragdoll cancel in time, so it did not hit him and he parried it, but this is the best way that I find to land restraint, is just M1 and immediately you gotta like click restraint, and then you can get the rupture, and then etc. So another example of that is this. So I'll just play this full clip real quick, you can see it. You'll land this parry, so nothing came from that, other than the damage from the rupture, which is still pretty good, but it also can do something like this. So same thing, I do the exact same thing here. Now I actually went off that because this is why I run insignia. Because of insignia on rupture, my revenge came out so fast, you just cannot react to it. And then you can see the clip right here. So boom, this lands, block, M1. Even if they dodge it, you can still go for the rupture. They went it for the same time to hyper armor through it. Did not matter because they had blood side insignia. I could just boom and kill, just like that. So yeah, maybe when you want to use restraint, it just, like I said, M1 into it, and there you go. You can also use restraint in another way. Another way I like to use restraint is to flourish stack it with something like impel or your flourish kick. So we're going to look at that right here. So what happens right here is get impel to land the chain, and if you're lucky and you get the chain, you can pull them back. And kind of hard to like say it. You kind of just get like learn it in practice. But after you get pulled here, after like right here, when I click restraint, so you do the kick, and then you also do restraint at the exact same time, basically double stacking the amount of posture damage you do, basically instantly guard breaking them, and then from there you can go for restraint, but they kind of just instantly die and just collapse just from that. So I'll replay again real quick. Yeah, it's another way I like to restrain. Just you stack restraint to either your flourish kick or the impel kick for a ton of posture damage, and yeah, there's restraint. Or you're gonna use it to just kind of spam on your posture for M1 feint into restraint. Here's an example of what I did in this clip at the start right here, just exactly what I did. So as you guys saw, I landed the flourish kick right here, and then I pulled them back, and then I used the pullback kick and the chain warning restraint at the exact same time. So the posture just get absolutely overloaded, even though it just booms overloads. And from there, I land the M1, I go for the rupture, pull them back, and then I try for the combo and the event, and look at the damage it did. Okay, now this clip is a bit deceptive because I do have Ishin and all that, but yeah, that's it. That's basically the combo right there. So whenever you land each other first kick, you always want to try and stack something. I find restraint to be the best to stack because it just instantly guard breaks them if you do land that. There it is. Boom, 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 boom. Like it's a classic. It's probably gonna get removed eventually, the stacking, but that is how you do it. One of the best ways I find to land Master Flourish is what you're going to want to do is you want to just move right behind them. So you'll see like I'll kind of like move behind them as I use Master Flourish. So dude, in slow-mo right here. So I'll walk behind them. So first of all M1, right? So I'll get the M1 off. So they're going to go for the parry on this. They're going to miss this parry, obviously, because I'm feinting the M1 for Master Flourish. And as they miss that, just go right behind their block, right here, and then immediately use Master Flourish. And you can see they try to dodge it, but they can't because, well, lag issues, and this basically just happens to everyone. And then let's see, land it right behind their block like this. I'll play it in full so you can see it. One of the most consistent ways to land Master Flourish and also Exhaustion Strike. So as you've probably seen a lot of people do, it's the exact same thing with the Exhaustion Strike. So I get the parry off, I'll go for an M1. It's a very quick M1, but I'll immediately feint it, and I'm just going to go right behind the block, literally just like this. You can see the trail. I'll just go right behind your block, hit them with the Exhaustion Strike. Now, if you do have an insane on this, you could probably combo pretty well, but I just have a bless, so I can spam this. And sometimes they'll miss the parry on it. Well, they do miss the parry, right? But they usually end up getting the parry back for the next time. But sometimes they don't. You can combo pretty well off this. But yeah, it's very, very consistent. This is how people also land Ice Lance for literally for free. They're doing this exact same thing. And it works with a lot of mantra. You can probably do it with Rupture too. You can probably do it with, well, you gotta be like a quick mantra, right? So that's why Exhaustion Strike and Master Flourish are usually the best. But you could find, if you're not even on this build, you could find in your own kit like so many mantra that can do this exact same thing, and it's very, very abusable. I don't think they can ever patch this without giving everyone like 360 block, which would kind of make the game like it kind of give everyone basically like pseudo art suit, right? So really no way to kind of fix that, and yeah, it's gonna just be in the game forever. So make sure you abuse it. I wouldn't feint, just move right behind their block like that, and then you're gonna sit them like that and go for an after whatever you want. That's wonderful. Sure, it's also really good on its own without a chain, so really not much to say about this. You can just use it immediately after a parry, and sometimes it would just haven't used it in a while or just don't expect it. It might just land for free. Put an insignia on that, and you could do some pretty good combos from it. That right there is the Rupture. I just use it immediately after a parry, no feint or anything, just use it, and you can see what follows. Here's another example of the exact same thing. So I just do enough. I just get the parry off and immediately Rupture. This is not my chain, by the way. Now, if you're better at mantra, like I'm not that good at mantra feint, but if you are good at mantra feints, you could definitely carry on with that and go for like a feint somewhere in there and do something pretty good. But you can also see the clip continue into something else right here. I do the exact thing that I mentioned earlier, where you want to just M1 feint and use your crit, and there you go. Didn't get much from that, but that's just showing the uses of how to first critical, how you can merge a lot of these different things together. So again, repeat, just land the Rupture, come off this, cut out on that M1 from there. I can now immediately feint that and go for a critical and hit them for free. And there you go. For Thresher Burrow, the main reason why I have it is just a safe place to go and use Heretic Sutra and something like Golden Tongue, because Heretic Sutra slows you and prevents you from rolling. Using that in the open can sometimes be a pretty bad idea. So you can just kind of see just basic usage right here. So I vent them away, I move away, and I just Thresher Burrow, Heretic Sutra, Golden Tongue, and then always try to move towards them while sliding. Sometimes you get that hit off, sometimes you don't. If you do, it's nice, but you can also use Thresher Burrow, just kind of doing like Storm Cage, if you're like in Lightning Cloak, in a lot of different ways, but it's like a get out of jail, but it's not really a free card because they can also punish you from using it, right? So bit of a risk, but it's either this or like you can go shoulder bash, but I'd just rather have kind of like a tool to just get out safely. That's why I like using it. You can definitely replace this mantra for shoulder bash if you'd rather have another attacking mantra. Shoulder bash is honestly really, really good. Now to use Sing, it's honestly just like a lot of time on task because there's not really a specific way to use it, but usually, I mean, the specific way to use it, I guess, would be to catch people mid-move. I'm going to show some examples here. But yeah, you gotta just, you'll learn like the time for it as you use it. I can't really teach that, but yeah, just doing the clips right. So I'll just catch him with the Sing. And they try to hit me. I get that M1 off because they tried to M1 me first, because I stunned them first. I get that M1. And then I have another stack and just a free M1 on them, so played in full. Sing. Here's another clip of me doing that right here. So they went for a Writhing Frost, and I just simply caught them in the Writhing Frost, and then I hit them because I used Sing. Because they were stunned, they couldn't hit me with the Writhing Frost. Sing right there, canceled it, and then I hit that, and I got lucky with the Spine Cutter too. Here's another clip. I sung them as they were mid-prominence draw, so again, kind of got lucky because there's literally no universe that I react to that, so I kind of just guessed, you know, now would probably be a good time to use Sing, and of course you have to be Charm first, use it, got lucky, got the M1 off, and there you go. So yeah, Sing, just try and catch them in move, and then if you're lucky, you get a hit off. If you're unlucky, sometimes they can hit you through Sing. I'm not gonna happen pretty rarely, but for the most part, Sing is a pretty safe mantra to just throw out. Now for Coral Spear, the way you want to use Coral Spear is you want to make sure you have the insignia on that for sure, because that's how you're gonna follow up a lot of moves right after you land it. So Coral Spear is kind of similar to Sing in the sense you kind of have to catch them mid-move. That's usually how I catch people with Coral Spear. And even just land a single tick gets you insignia, so you can really land a parry right after, because they usually swing immediately after, and then use literally any move you want. For this, I had Impel off cooldown. I thought I'd be safest. Not really safest, but will probably land more often than Revenge, because Revenge that close when you proc Insignia. Usually they parry that most of the time, so I like let me just go ahead and land a Break Coral Spear, and I immediately go for Impel. It's gonna be so quick and land at least a few ticks right there. Here's another example of me doing that on Coral Spear. So here they were just kind of running at me with like this, so I just kind of caught them for free. So yeah, I'm just gonna use Coral Spear, and then I followed up with a very, very quick Revenge right there. So here I landed Revenge. Honestly, I'm honestly really not sure I landed that, to be honest, but sometimes just like, you know what I'm saying, sometimes I just don't parry it. Usually that would not land though, but I don't know, I'm kind of unlucky right there with Coral Spirit, but again, that only landed because of the insignia on Coral Spirit. So here's another example of me doing that as well on Coral Spear. Here again, it's kind of like Sing, you have to catch them, so I caught them. And I used Master Flourish because it's so fast, the windup is so fast because of the insignia that you can see they tried to parry it, but they just kind of missed their parry on that. Because it was just so fast, they did not expect it to be that fast. So just landed free, and it healed me a lot. You can see the healing right there. Pretty substantial amount right there. So Coral Spear and Sing, you both want to just kind of catch them mid-move. Make sure that insignia on Coral Spear, so whatever move you follow up with have a pretty high chance to land. Normally, Revenge, you know, honestly, just use whatever. You'll kind of like feel what move is probably going to work best for you. Now to use Impel, it is incredibly easy. Like it is very easy. You just land a parry and then just go right in their face and use Impel. Like look, I go in his face and I try to W key into his face. It is that easy to land Impel. And because I have an insignia on that, sometimes you can land a move right after, similar to Coral Spear. But in a way like insignia would make that next move like land more often, right? But in this case, you literally just go into their face and just use Impel, like immediately after just use Impel. The reason why I land so often is because they try to win back and get hit, or it's really, really hard to parry all of this. Like you're gonna chip a bit past, or it's gonna hit in their block, get that chain off. So yeah, you literally just use Impel in their face. It is very, very easy to use. Very easy to use, very easy mantra. Here's an example of me using basically everything I just taught you in a small segment of a fight. So I'll land parry, immediately go for an Impel, which is I know is gonna land probably at least one tick. It does in fact land some ticks. Get the parry off, get the lucky M1s here. Then I go for the back hit on the Master Flourish right here. So M1, M1, I go right behind them. See, look at that, right behind their block, because I knew they'd probably get that next parry off. I go hit them right there. And yep, that's it for that segment. So I can see I just kind of combine two things at once, and let's see you kind of do that in the middle of the fight. Kind of just like that. There's another example right here in the clip I showed, I think twice earlier. So there's two things happening right here. So first I land the Flourish Kick, and then I go ahead and Restrain Movestack, and then I pull them back using the Restrain Rupture, because again, remember, when you land at Restrain, you want to immediately go for Rupture. While I land a Restrain here, so you need to go for Rupture. Now after that, I have an insignia right here. I could do literally anything I want. So here, I went for M1 into Exhaustion Strike, And if they did not have an event here, or if I maybe predicted that after landing out of Eldritch Strike, you can hear that I did proc my third critical. So after I proc that third critical, I'd immediately, if I pair that event, go for a critical, which would proc my second critical, which is the TP one. And remember, it's going to use it right after parry. They'll most likely just react to that. They're going to miss their parry, and I'm going to guard break them and then do crazy damage. And it's just like that. Like the string just continues like that. So you really want to learn to combine everything in this video. And there's a lot more stuff too, right? But again, remember, I do not mantra feint. If you know how to mantra feint, if you really learn the kit, probably better than me, you could find some pretty crazy combos with mantra feints, because mantra feinting, it just goes so in depth. Like I don't know like the best way to say it, but like there's just like almost like an infinite combo or infinite like string of different ways you can mantra feint to land something. You can like M1 and feint that M1 for an exhaustion, and then exhaustion strike feint that, and like, you know what I'm saying, like there's so many, but these are for the very basic. This video is just for the very basic cookie cutter combos, very basic inputs that really anyone could use, and it kind of works in any elo. So for prediction, that requires the whole video on its own. I'm not gonna lie to you, because prediction in itself is such a complicated, it's such an intricate mantra that to master prediction, it may require like a 20-minute video to show you every single scenario on how to really master prediction. So the best advice I can give right now on how to use prediction is just keep using it. Okay, the more you use prediction, the more you get a feel for when you should use it. The main way I can say right now is if they go for an M1 feint, if they M1 feint, you should be looking to use a prediction, because again, you cannot use prediction in a parry trade, but if they feint, prediction is now available to you. So that's usually when you should look, okay, could I predict their next move? Because usually when they feint, they usually like to go for a move right away. Or if they like air swing, they usually like to air swing it to like a move right away, because they get, you know, increased mantra speed, right? So that's usually when you should be looking for a prediction, is when they feint anything. When they literally feint anything, or if you use like a long range move, if you use like Radiant Dawn, you could like see them from the sky, like, okay, I know what to predict you, right? Like I could clear like a clear windup, like Encircle, Windforge, etc. Yeah, like prediction does get more in depth than that, because what if they know your prediction and they're smarter than just feinting and you get a move, and they start predicting your prediction? So that in itself is a whole complicated matter, because that's where it gets really complicated, and it's just a battle of reading book, of just book reading, right? So I can see like in all of my clothes, I think since the start of I started PvP, I've always had predictions. So if you want to see how I use prediction, you can, but I'm not even the pro at it. I'm not. Like when I put someone like Cladrum, he always predicts my prediction every single time. You just jump around someone's prediction. If you go like this and start jumping around, you'll probably end up using prediction. It's like they just have the habit of using it, because like, oh, you're probably gonna use the move, and then you just kind of bait them off, right? But yeah, the more you use prediction, the more you'll just learn it. That's all I can say. It's time. It's truly a time on task for prediction. I like one of the hardest moves to learn. Okay, because if you mess up prediction, you are losing a lot of HP. Okay, you're losing a lot of HP. I'm telling you right now, a lot. If you have any questions about the build, ask me in the comments, but this video is already pretty long, and it probably should answer every single one of your questions. And yeah, if you want to know why the build is what it is, I like the build. Do not DM me any modifications to the build unless it just adds on to it and does not remove anything, because I like the build how it is, okay? I like how it is. So you don't DM me, no, hey, I remove all the dead gods, but I added Audacity. No, okay, I like the build. Unless you're saying like, hey, look, I made the build, but I added air counter and you lose absolutely nothing. Okay, you know, I'll be on that, but yeah, most part, that's probably not gonna be the case, right? So yeah, you need any question, you know, you leave a comment, I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. And yeah, here's an example fight of me using the build, and there's a lot more example fights in my previous videos and my live stream, so you can just kind of watch over there if you're curious. Thank you to Kazura for making the build.